What is up, everyone? It's SquishyJoshy, creative vagabond, taking you on adventures in gaming, art, music, and experiences. And today we're going to be reacting to an artist we actually have not heard of before, called East of Eden. And this is a song called Our Fate, which I believe just dropped 2 months ago, and we've been meaning to react to it for quite some time. So without further ado, let's just get into this reaction, guys. Okay. Violin! Oh, that's cool. Hang on, do I know that bassist? This looks familiar. I'm going to pause it there. I know that's a bit earlier than when I usually pause it. I usually pause it around the minute. This is so cool. And I love visuals when it's like the whites and the blues. This one kind of incorporates black as well. I like how there's a sort of sparkly lines in the suit there. That's not very common. And I like how visually each of the members have a bit of blue going on in their outfits. Kind of reminds me a lot of Hagane, huh? They do that. They've got a lot of blue in their branding. I wonder if East of Eden were aware of that when they made this. Or maybe it's just this song where they're all kind of wearing a bit of blue, whereas Hagane seem to be wearing it in every song. But yeah, really cool start to this song. You know, obviously I wasn't expecting any of that. I've never heard of them before. Super cool to hear that kind of classic J-metal sound, but then they've incorporated like a violin into the mix, because usually I would expect more of just like a guitar, like, and instead of that classic guitar vibe that I'm kind of used to, or was rather expecting, we've got a violin actually playing that kind of lead melody, and it's kind of cool seeing them riff off someone who's playing a classical instrument. Like even this, the communication between the guitarist here looking at the rest of the band, obviously they might not actually be there, they're probably just behind the camera just like telling her to smile or something, but this whole look is great. I love the cinematography here. There's some great lighting kind of separating her from the background. The sky's kind of overexposed, but it gives us that sort of whitewash background, and there's a bit of a glow which really like makes this whole sort of frame pop. And I really like that black guitar too, really cool. Is that a 7-string or an 8-string? 7-string. Okay, cool. Yeah, just had to confirm there. I was originally looking at the tuning pegs, but then I was like, wait, why don't I just count the part below it? You know? But yeah, really cool minimal guitar. I like that. They look like they're having a lot of fun with the song too, which is great. I always like seeing when bands are enjoying it. You know, sometimes you can just be in a music video and you're like, you know, have you seen artists like that? I know I have sometimes. Maybe not so much in the music videos, but like in live contexts, I've seen it. But I just really like how they're so energetic here and just really enjoying it. Like I said, I wasn't expecting the violin, but it was great. Like it kind of started off really slow and then all of a sudden it just gets straight into it. I like that. Let's dial it back a bit. I did mention before I paused it, the bassist looked familiar. And I'm wondering, is it that bassist on YouTube that has the green bass? Because even the playing style kind of sounds like that, like the way that she's slapping the bass, like the doom-dee, doom-dee. I've got to find out. You know what? Let's find out right now. Is there any way for me to figure this out through the description? Here we go. Mina version. Mina. Former member of Girlfriend. Mina is the new bass player of East of Eden. New bassist Mina is killing it. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but it seems like these J-metal bands are always switching out their bassists for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they just want to experience things with different bands, but do we know this? Oh, it totally is her. It totally is her. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of this bassist with her iconic green bass. I think she's done a couple of videos with Davey 504 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that is so cool. It's so cool that she's found a band to join. I knew I recognized her. All right. It's enough of that. Let's get back into the reaction. Hang on. I know we're back at this spot again, but something I just noticed there, because I was paying attention to the left side of my headphones, it's like they're having a call and response with the violin, and the violin is kind of like giggling in the background. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's like the guitar and the violin are like having a little joke in the background while the singer is trying to demand our attention. All the other instruments in the back are like having a conversation and laughing. I thought that was kind of funny. Anyways. Let's pause it again real quick. That was fantastic. The instrumental break and everything. It's really interesting when the violin is taking the lead. Sometimes it takes my focus away from the guitar, which is kind of interesting. I really wonder how it would sound if there was a second guitarist who was playing exactly the same as the violin, and would that be just overkill? Because what I'm noticing is the violin really cuts through the mix. It really does. But I think overall it's a great balance. They found this really sweet spot between the guitar, the bass, and the violin. Obviously the vocals are great. Drums are great. I really like the double bass drum look. I mean, there's a lot of drummers now that just opt for the double kick pedal. I really like when there's two bass drums, especially when you have one that's maybe slightly bigger or, you know, padded a little bit differently, just so there's a bit of a variation there. But it's also kind of interesting seeing it more to the side. Usually they're sort of more angled in a bit more. So I wonder if there's a reason for that. I don't know. Interesting placement of all her cymbals as well. It seems like it allows the drummer to just kind of do all kinds of things like reaching around like that. But we haven't actually seen much of that yet. They're kind of mostly just doing a hi-hat thing and tom fills for most of the song so far. I haven't really seen them travel around the kit as much. But going back to the comment of like the blues, I've noticed that they're not as saturated as Hagane's blues. So I wonder if that's how they're kind of like differentiating themselves from Hagane in this specific video. And obviously they've got the extra member playing violin. So 5 of them. Obviously one of them kind of started out in a different band and then did a whole YouTube thing, and then now they've joined them as the bassist. So that's very interesting. I love this sort of open space here. I really like when bands give us the wide shot. It's always a great viewing experience when you can see the full band with such great detail, and they all have fairly unique outfits, even though they're all sort of subscribing to that desaturated blue. Musically, I think I wanted to just comment on one other thing before we get back into it. There's a part where it comes out of the instrumental where the volumes of everything go like really choppy, like da, 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 da. And I don't know about you guys, but the way that I'm hearing it when it's in this sort of context, it almost sounds a bit more natural compared to other bands that do the whole cut up sections. Like, for example, Bring Me the Horizon. You can almost hear there's like a digital white noise almost cut out when bands like Bring Me the Horizon do it, where they cut out the audio and it's like dead silence. But with this band, when they're doing the cut up thing, and I wonder if it's got anything to do with the fact that there's a violin or it's just the person who mixed and mastered it, it almost sounds like there's just someone at the mixing desk just getting the fader and doing that, manually cutting out their volumes rather than like cutting it in the software. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's just, I don't know, something I've heard. But anyways, let's get back into this. Oh, she's running Zildjians. That's crazy. I like that. Blue and yellow as well. Very seaside hotel. If you guys got the latest update to Animal Crossing, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's get back into it. That's what I'm talking about. Proper guitar solo and everything. Very nice. Like, I was a bit worried that, you know, the violin was taking all the attention there, but all of a sudden we got a guitar solo. I'm happy with that. The violin took a step back, let the guitar have a moment to shine. That's awesome. That's a true band right there, giving moments for each member to shine, essentially. And I appreciate the shot that I paused it on, because in other shots we've seen that the sky was really overexposed. Probably an artistic thing, but at least here, now that we're in this sort of outdoor area, the clouds don't feel too overexposed. Does that make sense? I like that. Just a small little, you know, technical detail there. I think there was something really interesting in terms of the music happening a bit earlier on in the song that I forgot to mention, but I might actually have to dial it back to hear that, because I don't think it was in the second verse. They probably did that on purpose for, you know, variation. But I really like that. I really like the structure of this track. I really like the inclusion of the violin. I feel like it just sets them apart from, you know, other bands that are kind of in the similar space. So yeah, look, this band East of Eden is really cool. A breath of fresh air almost. They're adding these classical instruments into the J-metal space. J-metal or J-rock, I suppose it's not so much J-metal, it's more on the J-rock side because they haven't really, you know, screamed or anything like that, or there wasn't really super heavy instrumentation. It's probably more on the J-rock side. But yeah, cool stuff. I'm enjoying this one a lot. I'm glad I discovered it. But let's get back into the reaction. Okay, I gotta pause it again. I know I keep doing this in this particular song. There's just so much I want to talk about. There's like those unexpected chords in that previous section as it was building up. And then I like when it does the whole... That's a good little phrase that they've been sprinkling throughout the song, usually towards the end of the instrumentals. But yeah, I just wanted to make note of when my facial expression was really saying everything that I need to say, really. It's when you've heard most of the song and then you suddenly hear like a new note or like a special like augmented chord or something that just gets thrown into the mix, but it adds that extra flavor that just keeps you excited, keeps you interested in the song. I thought that was really cool. But anyways, I apologize for pausing this one more often than usual, but this song really speaks to me. Maybe I'm just having one of those days where I want more deeper conversation. I don't know. This is the life of an INFJ. All right, let's get back into it. The arpeggios. How's Matt? Extended outro. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. So much really exciting stuff happening in this song, guys. What a time. What a time. Honestly, I just really like the inclusion of the violin in this. I feel like it just adds a lot. I wonder if all their songs include the violin, or I wonder if she switches it up and maybe plays a cello in some, or maybe picks up a guitar. That'll be cool if maybe some of their other songs require two guitars rather than a violin. It'd be really interesting to see if some of the members, you know, swap instruments here and there. But what a cool song. I feel like, you know, there's always something interesting happening in the J-rock and J-metal world. So I'm pretty happy with this discovery. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and if you did, please do smash the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. According to these stats, 98% of you guys watching these videos are not yet subscribed, and I would really appreciate if you guys would jump on this journey with me as I navigate being a multi-focus variety content creator. Essentially, there's so many stuff that I enjoy doing, and I don't want to be pulverized into one specific niche, you know what I mean? It's very limiting. I understand where it might benefit some people, but you know, sometimes all it is the personality, and this band definitely has a lot of that. Anyways, that's going to be it from me today. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.